So we're going to get right into it. The microbiome, what does that mean? The microbiome is 100 trillion microbes that live in or on our human bodies. Maybe sounds gross, kind of is, but actually it's a really good thing, okay? It contains, these microbes are viruses, bacteria, fungi, and parasites. And their cells outnumber our cells 10 to 1. So there are more of them than there are of us, okay? Their genes outnumber our genes by 150 to 1. The most important part of all of this is that 95% of the microbiota, or basically these, microbes, are found in the gut. So how we are feeding these microbes is very important. Gut health is so important. And there's good bacteria and bad bacteria, and that's really where this all comes into play, okay? So we're gonna get right into that, the good and the bad. As you can see on the left is the good bacteria, Lactococcus, Lactobacillus, Lactobacillus bifidus, okay? On the right is the bad bacteria like E. coli, Staphylococcus, Clostridium. What does this mean? Okay, so let's talk about the good guys a minute. Basically, the good bacteria, like that bifidobacteria and the lactobacillus, we live in symbiosis with them, okay? That's good. We have a really great relationship with them. They help us with important bodily processes, and in turn, we provide them food and shelter, okay? That's great. That's how it should be. Their functions include forming key neurotransmitters. You guys, these are the feel-good neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, and even the neurotransmitters like GABA that can affect how we like our anxiety, okay? So very much mood and mental health is related to our gut health. They also help us break down food compounds. They protect us from bad bacteria. That's very important. They metabolize circulating estrogen. I can tell you with a number of people, and this isn't just in women, that they have an estrogen dominance. And when we have estrogen dominance, we have a real hormone imbalance, okay? So good bacteria can actually help metabolize that circulating estrogen, which can affect our PMS, sex drive, weight, and mood, all very important things. The good guys can also stimulate the immune system. So they're actually good at helping our immune system. And 70% of our immune system is found in the gut. So that's really important to remember. A lot of our neurotransmitters are found in the gut, most of them, and our immune system is found in the gut. So two things that are very important to remember in gut health. And they also help process medication and supplements. So what about the bad guys? What's the deal with them? Well, they cause disease, okay? Theirs is more, instead of that like symbiotic relationship we have with the good guys, this is a parasitic relationship, right? The bacteria thrive, but we don't, right? They take key nutrients from us. They deplete our immune system. So basically some changes in the microbiome that can affect your health are this imbalance of good and bad bacteria. Basically, when you have, poor gut health, you have higher bad bacteria than the good, right? There's a total imbalance. And there's reduced diversity of the good bacteria. There's infection, basically where the bad bacteria increase in number and they start to take over. That's not good. And then there's bacterial overgrowth in certain spots, like normal bacteria growing where it shouldn't. So for example, a thing called small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, where basically that bacteria is only supposed to be in the large intestine, but it moves up into the small intestine. So in a nutshell, this is a very important slide. Dysbiosis is poor gut health. Okay. So this is when the gut bacteria become imbalanced. Again, the good bacteria are decreasing in number and diversity, and the bad bacteria are increased in number and diversity. And you can really look at the slide on the right there. So as you can see on the left is a high number, that's normal. It's basically made of, we have bifidobacteria and lactobacilli. Basically what you would see in probiotics, like these are a lot of probiotics. However, people can't, a lot of people just think, oh, I'll just take a probiotic to help my gut health. It doesn't work that way. It's a step-by-step process, which we'll go over in just a little bit. A lot of times people who take probiotics they feel worse at first because they're not doing it in the proper form, in the proper order. And the picture on the right there shows dysbiosis. And that's basically, yeah, there's lactobacilli and bifidobacteria, but of course they're decreased in number. And look at the diversity of the bad bacteria. We've got Streptococcus, Proteus, Yersinia, Candida, Klebsiella, E. coli, Aspergillus pepticoccus, and Staphylococcus, all which are very pathogenic, meaning they cause disease in the body. So these are gut symptoms associated with poor gut health. And most of you would agree with this, right? Like, you know, you'd have poor gut health if you have these symptoms. Bloating. A lot of people think that bloating is normal, right? Like, after a meal I bloat, like that's normal. No, there's nothing normal about that. You should not bloat after a meal. If you do, there's something wrong. Okay. Your good bacteria is low in number and your bad bacteria is high. And including in that abdominal pain, excessive belching and gas, constipation, diarrhea, reflux, indigestion, heartburn, and nausea. All very important. Experiencing any of these digestive symptoms on an ongoing basis strongly indicates an unhealthy gut. Okay? This stuff is not normal. However, this is probably the slide that surprises people the most. These are all the non-gut symptoms related to poor gut health. Again, remember Hippocrates said, all disease begins in the gut. This is what we're talking about. Fatigue or low energy is probably the biggest one, because honestly, your body is kind of having to work overtime, because you've got basically this chronic simmering infection, occurring in your gut. You're not forming the key neurotransmitters you need. Maybe your body is robbing, the bad bacteria is robbing you of key nutrients like iron. That's a big one. So a lot of low energy patients that come to me, or clients that come to me, we are very much working on their gut health. Brain fog, like not thinking clearly, because we're going to learn about the gut-brain connection and how important that is. Joint pain, huge. Because inflammation, this is all very much tied together. Depression, anxiety, mood swings, acne, skin rashes and dry skin. This whole skin thing, like a lot of people try, end up going to a dermatologist. They treat it with, creams or whatever. That is covering, that is a Band-Aid, that is not getting to the root cause. The root cause is usually the gut. Eczema, hair loss, allergies, bad breath, increased sweating, irregular heartbeat, chronic runny nose or cough, hormonal imbalances. Again, that good bacteria is able to metabolize circulating estrogen, which can be a huge cause or a huge help in maintaining that hormone balance. Autoimmune conditions, and we'll talk about this kind of when we get into leaky gut, which is a slide or two away. But things like lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, Crohn's, multiple sclerosis, just to name a few. Indecisiveness. I can't believe how many people have come to me and they're just like, I just cannot make a decision. And how, like it has to do with that gut brain connection. Are we doing, do we have the neurotransmitters we need to, again, think clearly and process information? Vaginal or rectal itching, trouble focusing or concentrating, reduced immune function, weight gain, huge. We're going to have a slide on that. Nutritional deficiencies, again, our bad bacteria are robbing us of those essential nutrients. Headaches, including migraines, sleep disturbances, low libido, or basically low sex drive, cold hands and feet, and irritability. So crazy, right? I can't believe how many people have these on a normal basis and are just kind of used to living that way. But it can be better. And one of the things that we work on fixing is leaky gut. So when we have this dysbiosis, when we have this unhealthy balance of bacteria, it basically, our gut is supposed to work like a cheesecloth. So it allows nutrients through and into the bloodstream, but it keeps larger food particles, pathogenic or disease-causing bacteria, yeast, and parasites out. Well, as you can see here, the picture on the left, we have these tight junctions that, again, allow the nutrients through. The nutrients are the little red dots, squares. The immune cells are the little star-looking things. And those are supposed to be in the bloodstream. That's good. Like, those things are supposed to be allowed through. But this cheesecloth, when we have this poor gut health, basically these tight junctions open. Okay, they're no longer tight. We have permeability. We basically have a leaky cheesecloth, okay? And it allows lots of things in. It allows particles of our food, like our food that we're eating is going directly into the bloodstream. This is a bad thing. We don't want this to happen, because when undigested food particles and pathogens get through, this sets our immune system to basically go crazy, right? It activates our immune system, causing inflammation, causing our immune system to not only go crazy, but it starts attacking our own body. And that's known as autoimmunity. Okay. So we really need to correct this leaky gut, right? We need to repair those tight junctions. We need to get rid of those pathogens. And again, it's a step-by-step process. So one other just quick thing I wanted to talk about that I think is so important, especially in the world of mental health, is the gut-brain connection. And basically your gut bacteria very much affects your mood, because your gut and your brain are connected by a vagus nerve, or it's also known as a superhighway. 80% of those fibers go from the gut to the brain. Very important. And so there are more neurons in that vagus nerve than in the spinal cord. So pretty important stuff. But again, it affects those neurotransmitters like serotonin, that is very responsible for mood, sleep, and pain regulation, and in dopamine, which is focus, memory, and muscle control. And, again, a healthy gut does equal a healthy mind, because there is so much connection between the brain and the gut. This one I love because they're just doing more and more studies on gut health and obesity. And research is showing that our microbiome can determine if we're overweight or not. A lot of women and men that I have that have very resistant weight, and they're not having an easy time getting it off. Once we fix the gut, we correct the gut, it's way easier to lose the weight. So there was this mice transferring microbe experiment where basically a slim mouse was given the microbiome of an obese mouse. So they just took the microbes basically of the obese mouse, put them in the slim mouse, and the slim mouse became obese as well. Okay, they're finding this in twins as well, like how different, twins, of course, have the same DNA, but how, if there's an obese twin and a lean twin, how they will look at the microbiome of the two. And yes, the obese twin has dysbiosis. So just in finding that, we're realizing that if we can get the gut health right, it's easier to get the weight off and keep it off. So my health coaching program involves a program called the 4Rs gut health program. And basically what the 4Rs are remove, replace, reinoculate, and repair. Most people go straight to the reinoculate, which is the adding in the probiotics. And it just doesn't help to do it that way. You have to, it's a system. It's a step-by-step process. So that's what's really important. But you can't imagine like how much better, how much more vitality you feel when you go through this program. And I love this quote. Nancy Muir says, if there's one thing to know about the human body, it is this: the human body has a ringmaster. The ringmaster controls your digestion, your immunity, your brain, your weight, your health, and even your happiness. The ringmaster is the gut. So I just wanted to talk to you about one of my clients, Liz. Liz is a 41-year-old female who came to me because she knew her hormones were off since her hysterectomy. She felt super scattered, had brain fog, was slightly overweight, and was experiencing extreme fatigue. And so in doing her health history form and her symptom questionnaire for me online, I also found out that Liz had intense headaches, sinus problems, chronic jaw pain, hair loss, itchy skin. She frequently felt cold. She had bloating, gas, diarrhea, and constipation. She craved sweets. She was 15 pounds overweight, had extreme fatigue, brain fog, and low sex drive. So basically, I went through the 4Rs program with Liz. And step by step, it took about 8 weeks for her. Some people take between 8 and 12. But this is what she says. Now that I've worked all the way through the program, I am so pleased with the results. I sleep through the night. I'm able to eat without any bloating and abdominal pain. I have a whole new list of foods that I can eat without any digestive repercussions. My metabolism began to work again, and I have been able to consistently drop weight while never feeling hungry. My biweekly migraines are a thing of the past. I no longer take a nap on my lunch break. One of the most unexpected results of the program was that the outer third of my eyebrows grew back in after at least a dozen years of them being gone. I was shocked. Also, my hair, which has been quite dry and brittle, is regaining its shine and integrity too. I can't recommend this program enough. And so I do believe that gut health is absolutely the key to a healthy life. This is where we get our vitality back. This is where we start to feel amazing again.